Welcome to Shyzalosophy 101. Here's your host, Shyzabox. There we go. Excellent. Get out of here. And the horse you rode in on. Well, believe you me, we have got a special treat for you today. You might be saying, how special? No, doesn't matter. So what does matter is, looks like you got your way. Way to go, Internet. The Kickstarter failed. You might be saying, oh, why are you showing your face around here again? We thought we had our way with you. Well, you did, but would we be so oblivious to point out that one man's failure is everyone else's laughter? Or it's a failure at success? I don't know, one or the other. Believe you me, if you're getting derived entertainment out of our failures, you must have been following our entire lives. You must be pretty adulated right now, and you must be a millionaire. Is that you, Elon of the Musk? You couldn't buy one of our books? No, anyhow. We get it. We get it. Don't blame you. They were pretty expensive. But, hey, as we said, the work's done. Okay, this, our Kickstarter failing is really our own fault. Yes, Internet, yes, it's our own fault. Apologies. We undertook that of which, in a chop shop fashion, peddled our wares. Okay, now we've been hard at work for some time. We thought that we had it all arranged and set up, but no. We package dealed everything, and we should have let stuff just sit by itself. It's our own fault, Internet. Yes, entirely. Not only did we shorten the length of any viable campaign, okay? The thing even told us, like, you might want to let us have, like, an extra 3 days. It's like, no. We're just doing it, right? And we did. And lo and behold, Internet, you win. The Kickstarter campaign failed. But the success is already there. We told you. You didn't have to buy the shit. The work's already done. We got our custom 3D printed buttons, okay? Now, you didn't buy them, obviously, because they were package dealed with our crappy book. You might be saying, like, oh, man, that's why. Yes, obviously. So, one failure is obviously easy enough to make into that of a success. So we will now have to successfully go and possibly fail again, by this time doing it the right way, and we'll put a regular Kickstarter together. We won't shorten the time of it this time, okay, to just get a few backers, okay, to obtain some of the work that's already done, okay? Now, like we have stated before, with it being failed at the launch, sorry, the 4 of you that did buy copies of the book, okay? The Kickstarter failed. You're not going to get your copy of the book. We thought we could sell 10. That was too lofty of a goal.
You've got mail.
Apologies, Internet. Our apologies. But the thing is that we should have known that we could have only sold about 5 copies of this book. Okay, so that's our own fault. We shouldn't have, bundle dealed everything together, thinking that everyone would want the custom 3D printed button and the book signed copy, and it's our own fault. So we it's our own fail. We cut the length of it, and we bundled that which shouldn't have been bundled. So we will return, as we said we will. Okay, we will continue to show our failed faces around here, as we had to keep going to school our entire lives. What's the difference? Nothing really. You son of a bitch, you got us. That's right, Internet, we do got you. Because if you remember, we did call Daryl Dixon dibs on being the best of the worst on the internet. So it would only be fitting for the first Kickstarter that is inevitably a failure to coincide with that of which is here. And eventually, some moniker of success will have to rear its head statistically. Now, you might be saying that success was already garnered, and that of which we got 4 backers, okay, to purchase copies of the book. That they won't get now because we couldn't sucker 6 more people in. Oh, internet, you see that? Now 4 people don't get their books because you were greedy and didn't want to give us your money. Okay, so don't apologize to us. Apologize to the 4 backers that we had on the Kickstarter campaign, okay? Because internet, you let those 4 people down. You might be saying, well, they can still go buy it on Amazon. Do you think they want to buy it on Amazon for half the cost of what we were selling it for? Probably. But if you point that out to these people, then they're going to realize that it's available on Kindle Unlimited, and then they're going to try and just read it there for not buying it at all. Dua Lipa. What? I don't know what that is. Some crying alien guy. But he looks kind of like a grape piece of bubble gum chewed up with some saliva running down his eye. Now, whilst one would take bubble gum and mold it into that of a emoji creation, slap some eyes on it, we have no idea, but, alas, Kelly, you put that into the chat, not us. So, that's on you. Let us cleanse that bubble gum from our minds. To achieve Zen, it takes 3 times. One more. Ah, excellent. All right. What the hell was that? Nah, don't worry about it. I'm Sub. Well, hello, Sub. I'm ready for lunch. What comes on you? Does it come with failed Kickstarter? Because that's what we're celebrating today. That's right. Failed endeavors. Failed endeavors. Nothing new to us, though. We're used to it. That's all right, though. Because it just sets us up to know how not to go forward in not succeeding. No, joke's on you, internet. We come back with a vengeance. We already got the book written. We already got copies ready to sign. Okay? The Kickstarter is going to get launched again. And if it fails again and again and again, we're still going to keep launching it. Because we got to sell these bad boys, or else we'll never get this studio finished. And if we don't get the studio finished, that's your fault. So there you go. If you want good shows, they lie elsewhere. Or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter. What does matter is that we're back at our Zen resting point, which you might be saying, we don't believe you. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you believe. It's what you choose to believe. Yeah, just go with it. So anyhow, yes, another day has come in which we realize that we rushed it, we jumped the gun, went a little too fast, demanded a little too much, okay? Maybe perhaps just asked that little too much extra, right? Of trying to peddle our wares. So, we will reevaluate, see what we can get as far as shipping costs down, so that one failure becomes yet a better success. We know no one wants to give us money, obviously. It's why we had to write a bunch of books so we could sell them to people so that they could just buy these instead. Okay, it's what lets us hang out, all right? They don't fund the channel, but ironically, they go towards a funding-like aspect of the channel. Okay? You get something, the channel gets something. You might be saying the channel makes it out on top, but, you get something in return. We can't just go around demanding people's money anymore. No. That was the way of the past, and it didn't work. We tried to set that hat out a little too often, collect a little too much, right? Didn't work, internet. You taught us our lesson. You put us in check. You humbled us. as humbling was needed or not needed. We're already pretty humbled. We had our goals pretty in check. Look, we didn't even, if we're being honest, Internet, we didn't even write the last 3 poems we were supposed to. Because we saw the line in the sand. We saw we were only 50% funded with 12 hours to go, and it would take that of a miracle with which to make it come to fruition and be that of ascertained. But, as we said, the work is done. Okay? We have a variety of books. We'll redo the Kickstarter with the custom 3D printed button. We will get the cost down. We will see exactly what the shipping and handling can equate or become or be to, and we'll proceed and go from there. So with that being the case, as we sit with our go juice, which lets us go, it brings us to the next point in our daily routine of being done with the morning routine, right? So as you roll into afternoons and you start hitting those I'm sub, presumably going to Subway or maybe a Firehouse Subs or a Jimmy of the Johns to get a sandwich for your lunchtime needs. Maybe you brought a sandwich from home. Maybe you don't like sandwiches. Maybe you are a sandwich. Okay? Now, that's a personal matter that you need to just leave kind of in the confines of your own conversations held generally in person with those with whom you choose to sandwich. Okay? But the point is that you have a variety of places to go to, a variety of places that you can, take on that of obtaining a sub for your lunch. You might be saying, some are better than others. Well, obviously, some are better than others. If they were all really good, then there wouldn't be competition amongst those that suck, right? If all of the sandwich shops were very good, then you wouldn't have a reason to feel like you wasted your money on bad sandwiches that
you've got mail
all that much better. Okay? So you just need to kind of keep that in mind as you venture out around lunchtime, okay, as you try and go and, obtain that of which you didn't provide for yourself. If you didn't bring your lunch from home, oh, big spender. Why didn't you go fund the Kickstarter that failed of ours? We'll tell you why. You were too busy spending all of that money on yourself. And we get it. You work for yourself. You keep it yourself. But that doesn't fit our model of getting your money. So we need to find a way to get that. Obviously, the best way to do which was to write a bunch of books, okay? So that it's a fair, equitable exchange. You might be saying, I hate those books. Well, then you re-gift them. Look, this fits in a stocking. Okay, it's we got a series of them. Buy 1, buy 2, buy all 6. Okay? Believe you me. Whoever you give them to will be like, oh, thanks, a gift, right? And you don't have to get one more gift for someone. Done. If you need to knock out like 4 or 5 people, it's like a series. You get them each one to be like, I didn't know which one you wanted. You guys trade. Trade and get the one that you wanted. And, grandma's like, oh, I don't know what this one is. Here, I'll trade you. Okay? And they're like, oh, yeah. Okay? And then, you're done. You got your gifts for people. Bam. Okay? You want someone to get a little more theological of a read on, some fire and brimstone. Well, then you pick up our works that, are a little more questionable in nature. Okay, the fire and brimstone. A little something for everyone who doesn't want it. Heathens should not read it, or they should. But believe you me, heathens probably don't like it. That's okay. Amazon doesn't like it. Now, no matter. We got other works. We peddle our wares, and every failure is a success. So our Kickstarter doesn't succeed. We will readdress it. We will get it in check. We won't try and sell 10 copies this next time. obviously too lofty of a goal. We only sold 4. We'll try and sell 5. Okay? We'll try and sell 5 copies. We will half that of which we could not do. Wait a minute. We could do 4. Maybe we should try and sell 8. Yes, that's what it is. 8 copies. We will now drop down and we will sell 8 copies of it, signed and, with a custom 3D printed button. All right? Or whatever. We don't know. What we do know is that failure doesn't prevent us from finding another way to fail or succeed. Either way, that whole life thing drives us to seek that of what we need to sustain which, right? You might be saying, like, well, obviously, food, water, shelter, air, hey, all of the things you should have. Hey, yes, obviously. But what about the construct of fun and spending other people's money? How are we going to get that? You might be saying, earn it, do something worth it. Well, I mean, easy for you to say. You have the money that we want. And what could we provide that you would want to part with your hard-earned funds with, right? You might be saying nothing at all, dude. You're never going to get a dime from me. And believe you me, that might be a failure for us, but there's one thing that we can turn that failure into. It's that of a success. Oh, now, damn it. Looks like sometimes failures just end up being failures. And that's okay. Because where there is a failure, you know that that's a failure. That's fine. Then we don't get your ones of money. Maybe we'll get ones of someone else's. But, like we said, we don't want just give us the ones of money. No. We want it to be a fair exchange. You might be saying there's nothing fair about picking up your literary works, dude. And, believe you me, it's probably true. But they're there. They can be picked up. Available on Amazon. Kindle Unlimited. You can choose to pick them up, get them as stocking stuffers for people or not, whatever. It's a fair, in our eyes, equitable exchange, okay? That one can then justify never throwing something like this behind a paywall and always having a spot to hang out with or to just have a coffee talk, or we do poetry clubs and we do different art projects and things of that nature, just hangout sessions, right? And we refuse to ever put it behind a paywall. Okay? We refuse to ever have it behind some sort of Subscribestar or extra Patreon or anything like that. Okay? Because, A, that's extra work. And B, no. We choose not to break up that of which is, should only come and hang out and choose to be here if they should so choose to be here. Okay? Otherwise, there's no relevancy to, it in itself. All right? You might be saying, like, well, what is the point of then having it at all? Well, because, believe you me, there is ones of places that, on occasion, need to exist, okay? You have to have the bad, that's here, to have the good, okay? If you want your Joe of the Rogans, if you want your Tim of the Pools, and your all of the good of the channels, your Asmund of the Golds even, you need to have crap, okay? And this is what makes all of the other shows good, okay? It's that ground floor level that is that of just the ground floor. Okay? It is not what it claims not to be. It is a place to, entertain that of your thoughts, your mind, your conjectures, your whims, your desires. Okay? Nothing special, nothing in particular. You would say you desire politics, or you desire sports, or you desire a trade or a skill, that of which you can take into your regular life. and, impart on or feel like you really got something of use or relevancy out of what you devoted your time or attention to watching. And believe you me, that's what everyone wants from what they watch, from what they invest their time in, from what they do or get. And the more that we see what else is out there, the more that we watch and take part in, kind of partaking in some sort of intake of that offered product, the more just garbage and the more just crap that we realize is underlying every single foundational aspect of which we have devoted hours to watching, hours to investing time in, hours to caring about, hours upon hours. There's so many crappy editing tricks and techniques and just back and forth in different entities, beings, right, that negate the whole wanton desire to be affiliated or watch it anyway. The more that we encounter the irksome tendencies that different creators have had, okay, and we name not names, for we have irksome traits and characteristics within those of ourselves, surely. Okay? But the more that we see it and the more that they rear their heads, the more that we realize it's just crap and garbage. And the more that they peddle their wares which exist in nothing, okay, their wares are themselves doing that of naught that they designed or created. Watching someone play a game and then feeling obligated to give them money for playing a game that of which they didn't create or, do any real part of its fruition and coming into existence and being just didn't resonate with us anymore. It didn't sit with us as something that we wanted to try and cash in on or ascribe to. Now, we never undertook streaming of nature and sorts, playing games of sorts, but believe you me, if those charges didn't stick and Rock was still having his way with things, he'd probably be doing a bunch of his crappy reviews, which I'm sure he'll probably still do some point in time or another. But the charges stuck. We got the keys to the studio, so we get to do whatever we want for a bit, right? You might be saying, like, no way, give the keys back to management. Now, we call them all the time to gloat. Hey, management, you're never getting the keys to the studio back, suckers! Excellent. I don't know how it is where you work, but around here they think they know how to run the place. Believe you me, they do not. They think they do. Sometimes they do. But that's irrelevant. If they don't have the keys to the actual facility, that's on them. They should have thought about that before Rock gave us the keys and decided to go to jail. That's their problem. If we wanted to give them the keys back, we would answer their phone calls. Here they are again now. What do you want? We're doing the show. Now, we are not going to tell you every time that we come to the studio. Nope, because then that would lead to you getting the keys. And believe you me, I don't think Rock wanted you to have them, even though he told us to give them to you. So you take it up with him. Excellent. Yeah. Anyhow, yes, where were we? Failures? Probably. Successes? Nah, unlikely. But if there is one thing that we have, it's successful failures. And again, that leads us into being successful at knowing how to stop failing in certain endeavors, right? Okay, we know we bit off more than we could chew in our failed Kickstarter. Yes. Okay, that's right. That's right, Internet. That's right. Okay, but we return. Yes, we return and we come back knowing that we can make it all the better. Exactly. So with that being the case, obviously, kind of just leads us to when then? When are we going to post the new Kickstarter that will hopefully be a not failure success? Now that we know how to fail exactly, we should know how to successfully not fail one of those ways. And believe you me, we'll see. We will check the prices on the custom 3D printed buttons. We will check the cost of the packaging and shipping, okay? And try and build everything in to where it's a fair, equitable distribution, to where we get your money. And believe you me, if there's something we want, it's your money. So, that being the case, feel free to pause it or ask any philosophical questions that you wish as we cosmological philosophy in our free time. And believe you me, as long as you attribute it to a self-help kind of mentality or a motivational speaker kind of aspect, we can give that advice without any kind of legal problems necessarily correlated with them. So feel free to posit any of which in the chat. Otherwise, we're just going to finish our go juice here, and believe you me, we're going to be going. We're not getting paid to stick around or stay here. So posit philosophical inquiry if you wish, or go to X. Go to Punk Rock Review on X, and you can posit philosophical inquiry there. Usually it's answered. You know, as long as you don't break the rules. Posit only philosophical inquiry. But, alas, that is, inevitably the direction that we go and we pivot to which then. So, when one undertakes the furthering then of finishing their aforementioned go juice, they be going. So if you want to get out of here before us, now's probably a good chance, because it's not going to get much better. Whatever, dude, that was awesome. Drink it again. Well, we can't. It's all gone now. That was the best part of the show. Aside from when it ends. But if there's one thing you can be well assured of, it's that we will come back and peddle more of our wares inter of the net. We will embark on failing once again and or finding a way to succeed. Ironically, that's the goal. In selling our custom 3D printed buttons that say shite, and our books that we write, and the wares with which we peddle, all available on Amazon.com. But, believe you me, those custom 3D printed buttons aren't going to sell themselves. So we'll get a Kickstarter posted, and we will peddle our wares once again, and we won't set such lofty of goals to sell tens of copies of a book. Oh, too many. We're going to try and sell 8 copies of the book. Thank you. Yes. And believe you me, if we sell those 8 copies of the book, it's going to be fantastic. Hey, they very well could sell 8 copies of a book. You sons of bitches. You laugh, Internet. You say, no, you're just going to fail again. Hey, the hell kind of a show do you think this is? No. Oh, Internet. You like to see us fail. Now, and wallow in our misery. Now, joke's on you, Internet. We come back with a vengeance, wanting your money. And believe you me, selling our books is the best way to get it. So, hang out. Come stop by. Never buy anything, as you never need to hang out. It's always free. We just wanted to give something back to those of who want to buy a book. Maybe gift it to someone else. And we will have our Kickstarters that we post with signed copies of things and stuff like that, all for reciprocality. Hey, we want not that of which is not a fair trade. So, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. We do definitely appreciate any considerations of going to Amazon.com, searching out any of the books that we have written or anything like that. We got like, I don't know, 9, 10, 11 books on there. Okay, you're welcome to buy any of them, all of them. Or if you have Kindle Unlimited, read them on that. Remember, the quick note series make great little stocking stuffers around Christmas time. You might be saying, yeah, for someone else's family? Well, perfect. Get it for them. But until then, that's going to do it for us today. So we don't want your subscription. We want your money. Downvote the shit out of this and go to Cash App and give us a buck. Get off our yard.